My name is Alexandra. I'm often asked where I am from, and actually this is a question I cannot answer straight away because I feel like from here and there. I'm born in France from Polish parents, and I've been keeping on traveling for the 3 past years, mainly thanks to European programs. I did my Erasmus in Ireland, then moved to Spain for the European Voluntary Service. I also had the chance to manage a youth exchange. And all that make me feel like European. Lately I was involved in a project about Eti Ilsum, subsidized by the program Europe for Citizens. I had the chance to meet Roman Kroc, who was illustrating the movie, and actually he's a real Berliner, so let's meet him. I am very impressed being here at the wall, and after all what we've been experiencing through the Eti project, this movie we made, it was just crazy to think about what means history, and here we are in front of it somehow. So yeah, it also remembers me actually your concept of the walls. What was it exactly about?
Yeah, well, the concept of walls, which I treat, which is an important topic in my work, we see right here, as you said. This is a concrete wall of the outside world, a world out of concrete. And in the project Europe for Citizens, the memory for the victims of Nazism, we worked on the diaries of Eti Ilsum. And in her diaries she worked a lot about the walls not from the outside but from the inside walls. The world and the walls inside the head. She was a lot in conflict with walls of categorization. Who's good, who's bad, who's victim, who's butcher. Walls between love and hate. And I think there's a connection between the walls of the inside world, which is always the first step for the walls of the outside world. And it is a subject which interests me a lot, this individual approach of people towards walls. Whether it is the graffiti that and we can see here on the Berlin Wall, whether it's a graffiti that I encountered when I was in Israel and in the West Bank, the graffiti which is there. It's not for me that interesting, the aspect of judging politically whether the wall in this context now is right or wrong, but to take a look and try to learn from the very individual approach of the person who took the color and painted something.
And what kind of message do they deliver?
It's very diverse. You got painted a wall, and you got a wall and a door painted on it. So a door implies the desire to open it and go through. You've got a window painted as a graffiti. It's slightly different. It says you're curious about what is on the other side, but perhaps you don't want to go through, you just want to see what's on the other side. You've got graffitis breaking through the wall, or you've got graffitis of animals, cats climbing on the wall, which for me was an expression of where people are desperate, where they have the feeling as a human being, I don't have any means to cope with this wall. I have to shift an identity.
And in a way it was like Eti Ilsum was talking about all these internal walls, right? And trying to overcome them and to get to know the truth of the human nature more than like any judgments, as you referred to. And actually this is something I kind of experienced moving all around Europe and benefiting from some programs of the European Union, like the European Voluntary Service or Erasmus. And actually I see it like mobility facilitated by getting rid of the walls. But on the other hand, I also see cultural barriers that are getting across, because as you're mixing much more, you can make arise cultural shocks and kind of comforting sometimes stereotypes. So it's a very hard topic also, because it's contradictory. When some walls are falling down, some other may arise.
Yeah, this is, I think, what you say is the fascinating and the important aspect about walls. As the wall you're leaning on now, from the perspective of the East German government, it was the antifaschistische Schutzwall. It was a wall for protection against fascists.
It was not meant like this on the other side, yeah?
Yeah.
Berlin is a logical step in my personal development, and thanks to all the European programs, I had a real chance to discover different cultures and to try local integration wherever I've been. I think it brought me kind of conscious in mind, which allowed me to develop myself and to find a sense for my life somehow. Actually, I would love people to get more implicated and to take initiatives and actually find different ways, more creative in their all-day life to somehow better the world.